Teresa, and welcome everyone to the 6th annual Cocktails for a Cause. I'm Mary Calhoun. I'm one of the 3 co-chairmen for tonight with Margot Schuford and Marty Shepard. Cheers to everyone, and cheers to the Senior Connection. We want to thank all the volunteers and the donors and the in-kind donors whose names are listed on placards at the food stations and the cocktail tables. And please take a moment, if you get a chance, to look at those, because this event would not happen with all the wonderful people who have helped make this happen and go forward. So thank you so much, and I believe it's time to turn this over.
Well, we're thrilled that all of you are here tonight to celebrate the Senior Connection with us and celebrate our beloved seniors in this community. Soon tonight, you'll be hearing about the amazing work and programs that the Senior Connection puts on and works for every single day for those people. Our gifts are very important to the Senior Connection. So tonight, let's raise a glass and raise a paddle and raise some money for the seniors in our community. Cheers! 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 Cheers!
And without further ado, I would love to introduce our president of our board, Mike Beck. So now,
Good evening and welcome to the 6th edition Senior Connections Cocktails for a Cause. I gotta ask a question. Isn't it great to be live once again for this event? Let's hear it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This next minute or two was not part of our program. It is with a very heavy heart I have to tell you that Don Kern passed away earlier today. Don was a longtime friend, member, and supporter of the Senior Connection. When Don came on the board in 2018, he brought with him a font of wisdom and a wealth of experience from a life well lived and a very successful business career. Don loved the Senior Connection, and he was to the point where he was a member of our sustaining campaign up until earlier this year. His commitment never ended. What I will remember about Don at those board meetings, his smile, his sense of humor, a twinkle in his eye. To all of us who knew him, how blessed we were to call and be called his friend. Our first cocktail for a cause 5 years ago, we netted $55,000, and trust me, Teresa will tell you, we were ecstatic. Last year, it was $265,000, almost a 5-fold increase. Tonight's goal is $200,000, and that was set in conjunction with the Cocktails for a Cause Committee and the board in recognition of our ongoing sustaining campaign ongoing that many of you here tonight have contributed to, and we thank you for that. Teresa and Jovita will give you a little bit more information on that in just a few minutes. Cocktails for a Cause, from its inception and tonight is no different, is about supporting our current operations. And so while the sustaining campaign is about setting the Senior Connection on a firm footing for the future, our operations not only remain, but they continue to grow. Our seniors need you now more than ever. Isolation and social distancing have been their reality long before COVID for many, many of our seniors. And now with the COVID effect, multiply that by 10 or whatever factor, but it's big. And this takes a real toll on their physical and mental health. So when you paddle up tonight, you help our seniors be a part of, not apart from, our community. You keep them connected. And what a tremendous gift we are able to give them tonight. But we can't do it without you. COVID has had a lot of effect on the operations at the Senior Connection. Closing, opening, closing, opening. I sometimes don't know where we stand right now. We're open. Great, thank you. But you need to know that your efforts tonight will keep our staff and volunteers in touch with our seniors and touching their lives and bringing them the joy and the connection they deserve. So to conclude, let me put it very simply. Don't let our seniors down. Paddle up. Thank you very much for your time. I'll now turn it over to Teresa and Jovita. Thank you.
This year has been particularly special. The best, we've been able to reconnect again with our seniors in person. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary, so if you didn't know what the 50 on your mask meant, now you know. And we have been running a very special sustaining campaign with an amazing committee of volunteers, including my boss, Mike Beck, Aaron Buell, Mary Calhoun, Don Cunningham, Dr. Joe Fasto, Mary Beth Flower, Marie Gallo, Leslie Silva, and Trish Wilson. And they're actually all with us tonight, so let's give them a round of applause. The dream team for sure. A campaign of this sort has not been run in over 10 years for our organization. We have raised $2.3 million of our $2.5 million goal. There's a long list of things we're going to accomplish, but it's going to be a new bus, additional parking, expanding our kitchen. Speaking of our kitchen, let's give a shout out to Sous Chef Marie, Daisy, Marine. They did awesome tonight. Great food. Thank you. Opening our Senior Connection Vision and Hearing Center. Thank you to the vision of our board member and medical advisor, Dr. Fasto. Another hoo-hoo. Hiring additional staff to manage our growth as well as increasing our long-term operating fund. Jovita, I don't want to say my number two, my cohort is going to share a little more with you about this remarkable endeavor, our sustaining campaign.
Good evening. While tonight is about raising funds for our annual support, for our mission, for our programs and services, we feel it is important that we recognize and thank all of those who have supported this vital sustaining campaign. These are donors who understand the importance of sound operations, fiscal responsibility, the impact we have on seniors, and they also understand our needs based on our unprecedented growth. If you haven't had the chance to see the ginormous sustaining campaign posters over on the southeast end next to Dr. Fastow, I encourage you to get over there sometime tonight so you can be in awe with us of the over 280 names listed. Within the list of these sensible and generous donors, there are folks like Leslie Andrus, Dr. Thomas Archie and Dr. Heidi Woog, Candace and Rick Emsick, Marie Gallo and Benjamin Frank, Hope Hayward, Wendy and Jim Jakewit, Kay and Don Lofgren, Susie and Gary Pearson, Tim and Leslie Silva, Ed Simon, Julie Weston and Gary Morrison, Trish and Dave Wilson, and so many more. And I get the pleasure of introducing you to Don Lofgren, who's one of these great supporters. He would like to say a few words this evening.
I am the first one to talk to you who's not an employee of the Senior Connection. I am one of you. I am a donor. One of the marketing lines they use in their brochure, the Senior Connection, is we value your money as well as you do. Well, I think they demonstrated that in spades by biting the bullet, going to work, and raising these funds. With a management team like that and the commitment that I saw from the fundraisers, my wife and I feel very confident about contributing to the Senior Connection, and I think you can too.
I hold Don in very high regard, so that is a very nice compliment. Thank you, Don. As I mentioned, we haven't run a sustaining campaign, or historically it's been a capital campaign, but it was bigger than just capital needs. We haven't done one of those in 10 years, but tonight is about our annual operations. It's about supporting our operations, our program subsidy, our scholarships, etc. So because of all of you in this room tonight, we will also help our seniors experience the best quality of life possible. When you raise your paddle tonight, keep in mind, because of you, seniors will function at their best. Seniors are safe. Our roads are safer. Senior isolation is reduced and depression is kept at bay. The risk of pathogens spreading at the center will be minimal. Those with Alzheimer's, another form of dementia, have a place to go. We are able to open our hearts to the family caregivers and offer them the much needed break they deserve. Losing one's sight or hearing is no longer included in the list of viable options. Quality of life is extended. Seniors are treated kindly. Seniors feel like they are valued and important members of the community because we belong together. We are so grateful to work with Dark to Light Productions. They have been with us every year since the event's inception. They continue to work their special magic to tell us our stories. We're also grateful to be connected with Edge Productions, who is working the sound this evening. Andy and Bob, new and forever friends. So tonight's video, I'm gonna say, is in honor of two people. You'll see one of them in the video, but Don, and then also Tommy Farr, who turned 101 on Sunday. So he can't be with us here tonight, but he's our founding father. So let's start this year's video.
I love you, Madeline. I'm madly in love with you.
Respect, honoring them, honoring their life. This is for me the greatest generation there is. And if we don't respect them, I think we're losing part of who we are as individuals today in this time in life. You see the hard work they had, their past. When you sit with them and you listen to them, their life stories, some are fascinating, some are sad, some are happy life. And the fact that they had spent so many years in this valley at the Senior Connection here in Haley, Idaho, that means the world to them.
Well, we met in 2001. At the time, I was running a bed and breakfast for fly fishermen. I would go down to the local sort of sophisticated bar. Johnny was at the bar, and I noticed him, cowboy style, with really pretty blue eyes. We got married in 2004. He was a lot of fun to hang out with. We would travel and we would take road trips and do stuff, and he was fun. We fished a lot together. 2015, he was having problems with driving, and gradually it just started to get worse. I just started noticing that he was forgetting stuff, and he wouldn't remember friends. You know, somebody would come over and, oh, who was that? Kind of sad and hard to deal with. One of the problems was somebody who is beginning to forget things and so on. They act a little strangely sometimes, and I started noticing that friends were uncomfortable with that, and so they, wouldn't come over. And that was hard for me too. It is very isolating. I really didn't want Johnny to feel isolated. The first time we came here, I think the staff was particularly helpful, very cognizant of people needing to be introduced to each other and so on. Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
Oh yeah, good lunch.
What's special about the Senior Center, this is a place where it's safe. It's safe because our members, there is no judgment whatsoever. So they get to be a part of versus apart from.
I love their motto that says it's more than just the food, and we've got to do some pretty cool stuff.
Some things that we didn't do last year that we're able to bring back are activities, our field trips, these enrichment activities that seniors usually wouldn't do on their own. They're able to do in a group and do so safely.
We went for a hike, got to see a lot of beautiful country. And then we spent the night in a teepee. But a teepee was a new adventure. They fed us dinner, they fed us breakfast, they provided us a place to sleep in incredible, beautiful country. Yeah, that was awesome.
One of our greatest programs that we've been holding back on is our Connection Club, our respite program for seniors that suffer from memory loss, cognitive disabilities. It's needed respite for their family members. Doing artwork and getting music therapy, getting physical activity, enjoying a good meal. Senior Games, it's a friendly way to compete, to motivate people to continue to stay active. So it just really complemented this community because we have so many elite athletes. We wanted seniors to know that they didn't have to climb Baldy, but they could still stay active. The closing ceremony that we come together to celebrate that they've participated in this event, and for us to see how happy that makes them, makes it all worthwhile.
Diana Landis, 90-something. 92, but who's counting? I wanted to tell everybody that it's not hard to get a medal climbing the hill. You just have to wait until you reach a certain bracket and you look around and there's nobody else. So it's not a big deal. You too can be a gold medal winner.
Diners Club
And Diners
is back
Club,
going, which
yes.
is a monthly lunch on Saturdays. Yep.
Which also helps support the local restaurants because they go out and eat at a local restaurant on a Saturday.
And they sometimes get spoiled and
They
get
do.
to have lunch in the home of a friend of the Senior Connection.
I host once a year. This is our 4th year that I'm hosting Diners Club. I've been with the Senior Connection for about 7 years now. I just love it. It is way more than lunch. There is so much emotion and passion when I talked about my seniors. I call them my seniors. Those are my people. That's my grandma. That's my grandpa. And I just love them, period. Do you see their smile on their face? It's worth $1 million to me. Just look at their smile, the gratitude they have toward you because you take care of them. And for me, it's just rewarding. And I love them. I really do.
We got a great team. The two of us, board, committees, volunteers, staff, and then of course our members and clients. And so it all comes together to make this perfect package.
Our goal is to leave this place better than when we arrived. So we're always thinking about the future. And we want the Senior Connection to go on forever as well. So we work hard to make sure that happens every day.
Awesome. Love you.
We belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. 'Cause we belong together. We belong together. We'll be friends forever. We may not live in the same town, but we live in the same world. But the world has some problems. War, hunger, pollution. Bad guys, hatred, disasters. We have to find a way, 'cause we belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. 'Cause we belong together. We have different traditions. We have different religions. We have different opinions. We have different names. We make sandwiches for hungry people. We'll pack up our garbage and recycle. We'll send cards to people who need them. We'll make friends instead of war. So I won't be mean, I'll be kind. I'll leave all that bad stuff behind. I'll be trustworthy and I'll open up my heart. because that's where the changes will start. Because we belong together. We'll be friends forever. Will we fight? No, never. 'Cause we belong together. We belong together. We belong together. Thank you.
Thank you, RL. I don't think this gentleman needs any introduction, but, oh, did you hear that? They love you. RL has opened up his heart to seniors in our organization, and you are our friend forever.
Thank goodness. Hi, everybody. We belong together. Thank goodness you sent me the video last night, wherever you went. This is the byproduct of seeing it for the second time, but this time I got to watch your faces smile. I know I couldn't see some of your mouths, but your eyes smiled beautifully. And I have a lot of friends on that Book of Face thing, Facebook, that either are, that participate as staff, as board members, as volunteers, or as friends inside of the building. And here's what I know. This space called the Senior Connection is a place where smiles happen. They just do. You look at these pictures on Facebook, and there are always two people smiling together. The person who is being supposedly of service, who probably got more out of the day than anybody else, and the person who's there as the client. And it goes on over and over and over and over again. So can I dive into the really great part of our evening? And that's where sitting in this room of abundance, and it is, we are abundant in our hope, in our vision, in our spirit, in our compassion, in our commitment, and certainly in our generosity. And thanks to everyone who is already committed to the sustaining campaign. If you're the person who would like to complete that campaign tonight, see Teresa afterwards. She'll be happy to work that out with you. Is it like 200,000 away from? Okay, so you can give whatever you want here, or 200,000 to that campaign. It's totally up to you. I leave it up to you. You'll know what's right. And I want to get underway with that. I have a couple of things I'd like to tell you. We're going to start at the $10,000 level and go all the way down to 100. But you may have, after watching those beautiful images up there, decided that 10 isn't nearly enough, and you really wanted to go with 50. So if you hold up your number and 5 fingers, or 2 fingers, or 3, or 10, or if the people around you all stand up and raise their hands too, I'll know what that means, and we'll figure that out. Also, if you're not sitting next to the person that you live with, that shares that bank account with you, and you're feeling really inspired to hold up those fingers, you might go sit by them right now, because when you go home tonight, I want you to still be together. I want you to both feel good about what you're about to do, because I want to remind you that we're in a room of abundance. We're in a room that's going to go crazy right now for this amazing team and the work that they do. So there are going to be slides that pop up that tell you what each of these categories can do. I'm not going to reread those, because if I turn around and do that, or if I look down here, it'll get messy. But we're going to start at that $10,000 level. I like to move briskly through this part. So, because if you're humming and hawing, well, so do that right now. Got a number in mind? You can change your mind along the way, but got a number in mind? Again, we're going to go back and let you know what's already happened in a minute, but I don't want to talk about that yet. In this room right now, are there folks who would like to commit to $10,000? Are there $10,000 gifts? 186, thank you. Number 120, number 187, number 103. Anybody else in the room at the $10,000 level? Just checking. I told you I like to move along with this. Did you try the shrimp beforehand? They're really good. Think how much those shrimp are worth. No, it's the smiles. I digress. Back to our work. The $5,000 level. Do I have pledges at $5,000? Number 185, thank you. Number 191, thank you. Number 168, thank you. Anybody else at the number 112, thank you. Anybody else at the $5,000 level? 155, thank you. I'm going to check in with my friend Dave over here. Say again? Hang on. 101.2. Okay, Arl has to do math. No, just hang on one second. It's good. I had really good math teachers in school. 97. So the goal was $200,000. Before we started tonight, we had gifts totaling $97,500. Mark Casanica, I would have called you up here to do this for me if I knew that. I know. I'm so sorry. But what that leaves, if you have the 101,250 plus the 97,500, it gives you 198,750, meaning we need $1,250 to meet our goal tonight. For the whole amount, number 185 for $1,250. Ladies and gentlemen, on top of an amazing sustaining campaign, we just met the goal for the organization. You did that. Proof we belong together. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. We are incredibly grateful for your generosity. And I hope my two musketeers come back to give me a hand next year. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.